We're here at the Victoria Markets. It's a favourite place of my wife's when she was growing up. She used to come here with her mum all the time for the fresh fruit and vegetables. We'd come out of the rain or possible rain and showers. And as I was walking through, I saw a really great subject, and I haven't really utilised the market garden, the fruit stall sort of subject over the years. It's almost been 10 years since I was in Italy that I did a little nocturne. So I thought I'd give it a go. So let's see how I go. Okay, let's get some of these big construction lines in. This is a fairly technically difficult scene to paint due to its sort of complexity of the small shapes, big shapes, and even the intermediate shapes. But that's where we always like to make sure that I'm getting some of the, like as if we're doing the human figure, we look at the way the spine's constructed, so we're almost looking through all the detail and just at the big construction lines. So that vertical there, that's almost like it's the spine or an arm, a strong vertical line there. And I'm cautious not to make sure that I overdo the background construction lines either. That is so easy to make it overpower the foreground or the foreground shapes. My little drawing in brush, it's almost probably one size too small. It's wonderful for drawing lines, but it doesn't allow me to pick up a great deal of paint, so that's always a bit of a pain. So I love the brush, but and I think it's a size 2 ivory flat, long handle. So I think I'll go for at least the 3, maybe the odd 4. So now we've got the big guy in. This is the hog hair. Just trying to get those warmish but dark values down in underneath. As you can see, the set of scales is the focal area, the main focal sort of shape. Because I felt when I was walking around the market, most of the scenes were just sort of fruit or watermelon, or there were so many different angles I could have got. But when I saw this one, I thought, wow, the actual scale, the weighing scales is perfect because it's helping in that vertical format, placing a shape in front of other shapes, so I can put a nice highlight on the top of it, a little bit of a highlight inside the bowl where you put the fruit to weigh. One little mistake I felt I made in hindsight with this was the value, especially of the green. I should have gone, I think, say if I've got a tone of about 3, 2.5, I probably should have gone about 4, maybe 5-ish, at least 5. So then I'd come back in with a mid-tone and a highlight. I was kind of a little bit here or there, so to speak, because there's a little cast shadow underneath the set of scales. There you can see it just starting to come into view now. But that's all part of painting, is to just try and learn a little thing every day. Even when you're having those really bad days and things seem to be going against you, you're getting frustrated, annoyed, and sometimes it's just a simple little thing that you just cannot see. And we have to learn how to push through those, get through those tough days. Onto the days that when we choose a good subject, start off well, we're working at a good tempo, because I always find when I'm working too fast, I tend to get a little reckless and clumsy, or if I'm working too slow, I tend to try and overwork the more macro shapes when I still, even at this stage, even though I'm doing some of the smaller shapes, I still need to be seeing the relationships between how is it reading in regards to the big shapes. Good thing was, these boxes here, the blue boxes, if they were red, then it would be red, green, red, green. So the blues are nice, holds that little bit of soft light well, but also it's a cool colour in the background as well. That's why it was red flowers right down the bottom left, but I thought, you know what, I can just say there's oranges or mangoes or something a little warmer. So I was pushing those colour values just to get the most out of it as possible. So we're getting really most of the work done. This is where we've got that little shine up in the top, 2/3, 1/3 on the opposite side of the scales. That's the tricky part, is from when the board's dry and when the board's wet with medium and paint, you just never know when we get a little bit of a shine. But thankfully, that's actually the peaceful area. That's the area that I actually don't want you to look at. I'm wanting to look at the scales, have the viewer looking at the scales and the bottom part, and then just a little bit to the blue box, almost just above where that last brush mark was. So there's sort of mid-distance of those bluey greys, almost a touch of permanent alizarin in there as well, to the sharper edge. I love that little dark on the top of the set of scales. That just gives it a little bit more definition. And as you may notice, if you've watched a few of my paintings and videos, that a lot of it is that legwork. That's why I always equate it to running a marathon. We want to be getting ourselves close to the stadium. That's in that last 15% of the painting. That's when I've got that small brush out. I'm looking at the dots, the dashes, the highlights, those darkest darks, the little marks. That's what we're really searching for in this last bit, and that's really when the painting should be coming together. We don't really want it any earlier, any later. It is always nice if it's showing promise earlier, but I do like to paint a real wide variety of subjects. That's why this one was a real delight. Initially I was thinking, oh, just grab a bit of fruit and do a still life, but you know what, I do quite a few of those, and this is such a lovely break from the norm for me. So I think that's about it. Just having a little step back. Well, that was a really fun scene to paint. There's always a technicality that comes with every painting, and the tricky part with this one was all the small shapes. That's why I always recommend using the art of diminishing return. The further a shape goes away, the less information we need. So the trick is, get enough information in that foreground to represent those shapes, and then allow things to diminish and blur away. So that's how we create the depth and the distance. So I hope you enjoyed this one. All the best. Bye for now.